Welcome to Clothesline Theatre. We have been waiting for you to tune in to hear tales of Prince Edward Island, a place of history and some mystery. You may be surprised by the true stories that have been unearthed and brought to life by our radio dramas. We invite you to settle into a comfortable chair and let the voices and sounds trigger your imagination as you hear the following dramatic story.
In 1929, Prince Edward Island was mainly a rural culture with a scattering of towns and villages throughout the province. Communities, be they rural or urban, were tight-knit, with the majority of people willing to offer a helping hand to both neighbors and strangers. In 1929, Henry Gard of the western town of Alberton was a 45-year-old successful fox farmer, industry inspector, town councillor, husband, and friend to many. He believed in living the golden rule and was quick to offer a helping hand.
Breakfast, Henry!
Good morning, Ethel, dear.
What a gorgeous day it is. June is my favorite month of the year.
Well, one can't find much to complain of in June. The long days, the warm breezes, and nature at her best. Even the falling rain tends to have a warmth about it.
What do you have planned for today, dear? It's so nice to have you back from Summerside. I hope today you can just set aside the business of the Canadian Silver Fox Breeders Association and take some time for yourself.
Well, first I'm off to the Fox Ranch to see that the men have everything in order and to just spend a little time with the foxes.
Those foxes are your children, Henry. I don't know how you bear to pelt out a number of them in the fall.
Oh, I do love the little creatures, Ethel. I feel a connection to them. They have certainly given you and me a wonderful life of privilege. Yes, it does give me pain to do away with some of them, but I believe we have an understanding in the law of nature. I look after them for a time, and they look after me.
I like your reasoning, Henry Gard. You might actually be listening to the Sunday sermons when I am suspicious you have nodded off.
Oh, I always listen, dear. When I'm done at the ranch, I have a few errands to do for town council, then I think I will come home and spend a little time with my beautiful wife. Perhaps we could go on a picnic.
I like the sound of that. Would you mind dropping off a little parcel at the post office for me?
It will be my pleasure to do that task for you, Ethel. Good morning, Mrs. Ramsey. How are you doing this fine day?
I am well, thank you, Mr. Gard. It is good to see you about the town. I'll just weigh your parcel. How is everything out at the ranch?
It couldn't be better. The spring was kind to us. All our fixins had good-sized litters that were healthy. And the kits, they're growing like weeds. It is the same story for most ranches right across the island. There should be good money in lots of island pockets this fall.
The silver-black fox industry has been real good to the island for nearly 2 decades now. It has been a great spring for cropping as well, so the farmers should be happy. That would be 10 cents for the postage, Mr. Gard.
Keep the change for yourself, Mrs. Ramsey.
Why, thank you, Mr. Gard.
Well, let me hold that door for you, Mrs. Phillips. Have yourself a good day.
My goodness, Mrs. Ramsey, isn't Henry Gard a real gentleman?
He certainly is. Not to mention good-looking, energetic, and industrious. He's done a lot, socially and politically, for Alberton.
People who have done business with him say you could not meet a more square man.
I would agree.
Henry Gard continued about his business in the town. He had a friendly greeting and a huge smile for everyone whose path he crossed. He was passing by the railway station when he spotted Everett McKendrick by the freight station. He called out a greeting.
Morning, Everett. What are you up to today?
Right on pleasant chores, what I'm up to. The missus ordered a piano the last time she was in Summerside. It arrived on last night's train and was put in the freight shed. The railway lads and I need a little more manpower to get it on my auto truck. If I had known the darn thing would be so heavy, I would have brought some of the boys with me.
Well, the fact that it's boxed makes it hard for you to get a good grip on it.
I don't dare unbox the thing. If it arrives at the house with a mark on it, I'll be skinned. I know you're busy, Henry, but could you spare a moment to give us a lift?
Never too busy to give a friend a hand, Everett. Oh, shit. Oh, gee, it's heavy indeed. Do you have a rope to tie it in place, Everett?
Oh, darn. I left the house in such a hurry, I never thought of such a thing. I suppose the moment I put the truck in gear, the thing will shift.
Don't you think it'll be heavy enough to stay put?
The trouble is it looks top-heavy. She could go right over the side. Since you're only going up the street, I suppose I could stay in the back and steady her. But take it plenty easy, Everett.
The truck was put in motion going north, then took a turn to the east. As it started up the slight incline going up to the town, the top-heavy piano swayed and surged, jamming Henry Gard against the sideboard of the truck. Under the weight of Gard and the piano, the sideboard broke, pitching Henry towards the ground, followed by the piano.
Oh, good God, Henry, are you hurt? Are you hurt? I'm so sorry.
Get the piano off me, Everett, quick!
With adrenaline flowing through his body, Everett Mackenzie had the strength to lift the piano high enough that Henry Gard was able to drag himself from beneath it.
Are you okay, Henry? Where's it hurt?
It caught me across the neck, but everywhere hurts.
A crowd began to gather as Henry lay on the street.
He needs a doctor.
I'll go for Dr. Kennedy.
I'll fetch Dr. Champion. Anyone laid out by a piano will likely need 2 doctors.
Let's get him into my car and drive him to his house. Tell the doctors to go there. George, you get under his right arm and I'll get under the left. At the count of 3, we will lift him. 1, 2, 3!
Ah!
I'll go ahead and prepare Ethel for your arrival.
Bring him to the sofa. Oh, Henry, my Henry!
Where's the patient? Oh, Dr. Champion, you're here already. What do you think?
Oh, it's bad. Together we'll do our best and give it to the power higher than ourselves.
The ministrations of Dr. Champion and Dr. Kennedy were futile. The body of Henry Gard was no match for the piano. He died at noon, 1.5 hours following the tragic event. The sadness of the accident cast a gloom over the town of Elberton and well beyond its boundaries. There was great sorrow at the loss of the popular and respected Henry Gard and sympathy for his childless widow. There was also disbelief that a man could be taken out of this world by a piano.
Piano kills innocent man. Narrator Stuart Smith. Ethel Gard, Catherine Dixon. Henry Dixon, Albert Goody. Mrs. Ramsey, Sheila Young. Mrs. Phillips, Dolly Silk. Everett McKinnon, Ken Gay. Railway Lad, Sean Ramsey. Woman 1, Kathy Clow. Woman 2, Charmaine Comeau. Woman 3, Patty Arsenault. Man 1, Jim Dixon. Dr. Kennedy, John Martin. Dr. Champion, Enser Waite. Musician, Christine Anderson Gallant. Sound Foleys, Krista Bryson, Alexandra Gallant, Nathan Wiley. Recording artist, Peter Gallant. Writer, Marlene Campbell. Researcher and editor, Jean McKay. Introduction, Lowell Hustis. This radio drama is brought to you by Wyatt Heritage Properties, Inc. through support from the Building Communities through Arts and Heritage Funding Program of the Department of Canadian Heritage and the Province of Prince Edward Island and the City of Summerside.